Not all masks look like the devil. Some have pretty smiles. Danger can also be very familiar. Welcome back to the season of Still Standing on Off with the Mask, the Transparent Me. I'm your host, Keisha Hughes, and on episode 1, I am here. I took off my mask and I discussed my hard thing. We spoke about how the love for Jesus, even at a young age, sustains us and changes us. We spoke about God providing nourishment from the hard things. Today's episode is a message to every parent, to every grandparent, every caregiver, every and anyone who has custody or charge over any young person. And I'm going to go as far as saying even the elderly. So I began to share my experience of being victimized by 2 family members, brothers. Now, before I begin, I want to say, in no shape or form did I ever blame my caregivers for what happened to me. Reflecting back, I never blamed anyone for what happened to me. Not even myself, as many do who've gone through the similar experiences that I have. So, I want to be very clear and very intentional. This message is not to hold blame, beat anyone up, or chastise. This message is simply to encourage you, to remind you of your position, and to prevent what happened to me from happening to someone else. So, every step of the way, I'm asking God for direction. I don't want to mishandle the assignment that He's given me. So every time we meet, I've already sought the Lord for guidance. I've asked Him, what's next, Lord? What's the next episode going to be? And He gave me a word: watchman. This is how I know without a shadow of doubt that the episode is on target. So since I heard the word watchman and the scriptures that go along with it, I've heard confirmation in my own church's Bible study. I heard watchman and being in position. I saw on my daily scripture the same thing, watchman, and I'll be sure to share those links. So the context may be a little different, but the message is the same. Watchmen, be alert, stay awake, keep watch. Today's episode is called Wake Up and Pray. Here comes my betrayer. Yeah, I thought the same thing too. It's deep, very deep. So this message is based on the story of Jesus in Gethsemane. If I were to summarize, Jesus brought His disciples with Him, and then He took Peter and the 2 sons of Zebedee and gave them instructions to keep watch. As Jesus went to pray, continuously He returned to find the same thing. The men were sleeping. He continuously said, watch and pray. You won't fall into temptation. But the flesh is weak. So finally, He says, look, the hour has come for the Son of Man to be delivered into the hands of sinners. Jesus then arrested, and as the story continues, He goes on to be crucified. You can read the full story of Gethsemane in Matthew 26, verses 36 through 46. But I want to concentrate on these verses. Please allow me to read for you. So Matthew 26 and 41 says, Watch and pray so that you will not fall into temptation. The spirit is willing, but the flesh is weak. And then scripture in 45 says, then he returned to the disciples and said to them, are you still sleeping and resting? Look, the hour has come, and the Son of Man is delivered into the hands of sinners. Rise, let us go. Here comes my betrayer. And that was 45 and 46. So you might say, Keisha, what does this have to do with your heart thing that you discussed in episode 1? Well, I have a few stories that I want to share with you. It's a bright sunny day, and a grandfather is enjoying the sunshine, nature, and those who walk by. Along with him is a little girl, a toddler, about 2 years old. She's his granddaughter, and she is just so stinking cute. Already at age 2, she has a bright smile. She looks older than what she is because she's so tall. And she has this brightness about her that's infectious. And she just wants to share it with the world. So, as this grandfather and granddaughter are sitting on the porch, she continues to greet everyone that walks by. Hi. Hello. Hello. Hi. The grandfather becomes concerned. After a while, he tells his daughter, watch her. Keep an eye on her because she's speaking to everyone who walks by. She might be just a little too friendly. The whole family hung out, all the cousins. They would hang out at the hub. Older cousins, younger cousins, first cousins, second cousins, cousin who just wanted to hang out and others who just needed babysitting. All fun and games. But for some, it wasn't fun. And it wasn't funny. It was just a cruel game being played. A granddaughter often spends nights with her grandmother because her mom is working and providing a living for her daughter. Her granddaughter, who was around 5 or 6, constantly urinating, often waking up in the middle of the night to tinkle, but not without excruciating pain and burning, saying, it hurts, it hurts, it hurts. Finally, the little girl was taken to the doctor. And the results? Nothing. The little girl wet the bed until she was 15. A little girl, about 6, says to another little girl, the same age, hey, look what I have. Do you have one too? There was a little girl about 7 who wrote a note to her family and told them she was running away. She hid deep in the closet, just as still as she wanted to be. But no one ever came. No one ever saw the note. She would find herself doing it again and again, and no one ever came. A granddaughter and grandson, similar in age, often enjoyed playing with each other, going on the bike rides, hanging outside. They're maybe about 10 years old or so. One day, a watchful grandmother berates the granddaughter with questions and says something along the lines of, no funny business. At that point, the granddaughter knew what had never been spoken. But little did this grandmother know, it was already too late. What you were trying to prevent already happened to this young girl, and it wasn't this cousin. They were so cool, so pretty, so popular. what this teenager aspired to be. So one day, she got enough courage and said what's never been said before. Hey guys, I want to tell you something. This is what happened to me. The response, underwhelming and unforgettable. She wasn't believed. The teenage girl quickly went into the shadows. So these stories are all about one person. They were warning signs. They were told. No one knew what the kids were really doing. No one asked until it was too late. No one believed. I am a mother, an auntie, a sister, a cousin. I'm tasked to be a watchman. If you are breathing and on this earth, you are tasked to be a watchman. The Bible says to be watchful, wake up and pray. Don't fall by temptation. Parenting can be tiring. Caregiving can be tiring. Quite frankly, worrying about someone else can be tiring. And here's the thing. You don't have to be related to the person. It can be a neighbor, a child in your community, someone on your job. Often, I see trash on the ground. Sometimes in the cleanest places. Someone could have dropped a receipt out of their pocket and it fell to the floor, or maybe some bubblegum wrapper. Sometimes I see trash in the dirtiest places. A bottle, a can, a piece of cardboard, you name it. Sometimes I walk on by. Sometimes I pick it up. And, these reasons vary. Sometimes I just don't want to get my hands dirty. It could be diseased, who knows, and come back to haunt me later. Or I'm just running, focused on what I'm doing and not worried about what I clearly see in front of me. Or maybe it's already just so filthy. So what difference am I going to make picking up one piece of trash? So when I finally do go and pick up a piece of trash, I always self-evaluate. Why am I picking up this piece of trash? Is it for show? Do I want to be seen and just want people to see me doing it because, I want them to think, oh, she's a good person? We have to regulate ourselves. Ask ourselves questions. Why am I getting involved? Why am I saying something? Is it my business? Am I just being nosy? Am I not saying anything because I don't want to offend? Am I not saying anything because I'm protecting? Am I saying something because I am protecting? Or am I not saying anything because I've already passed judgment? They are from broken homes and live in the ghetto. It's filthy there. What's the difference? Can I make just picking up one piece of trash? Can I make a difference? So every time I go to pick up one of those pieces of trash, paper, whatever it is, my answer is always the same. Because it's the right thing to do. Ezekiel 33, 1-9, it gives us a clear definition of a watchman. You've heard me use this word several times since we've started. And if I were to summarize it, it talks about if a watchman sees danger coming, he must blow the trumpet to warn the people. If the people hear the warning but ignore it, they are responsible for their own destruction. But if the watchman fails to warn the wicked, the wicked will die in their sin. but the watchman is held accountable. Ezekiel is appointed by God as a watchman for Israel, instructing him to deliver his warnings to save both himself and the people. So, admittedly, I haven't done my job, not as a watchman. I failed. Instead, I have been only a protector. From the age of 5, I've been protecting. I've been protecting them, my family, protecting myself for decades when I should have been protecting their children, their grandchildren, your children. I haven't been a watchman. Some of you know exactly what I'm talking about. You've not been a watchman. You've been protecting people who have been dead and gone for years. Some locked up, some out of their minds, and some living in your homes right now. If you haven't figured it out by now, that toddler, the little girl, the teenager in those stories, all me. If you've seen the signs, do something, say something. It's not too late. Act now. And what do I mean by that? Today's podcast, today's episode is Wake Up and Pray. Here comes my betrayer. Wake up and pray, both action words. First, stop sleeping. Open your eyes, your ears, and get out of your head. Research, ask questions, listen. I'm going to say that again. Listen, be alert, be active, go beyond what you think or what you know. Pray. Ask God to give you direction and discernment. Am I right? When do I say something? How do I say it? Open my eyes, God. Open my ears. Give me courage to say what I don't want to say. Give me courage to do what I don't want to do. Give me courage to offend if I need to offend. Help me take off the mask. James 1:5 says, if any of you lacks wisdom, you should ask God, who gives generously to all without finding fault, and it will be given to you. Matthew 7, verses 7 and 8 says, ask, a very familiar verse, ask, and it will be given to you. Seek, and you will find. Knock, and the door will be opened unto you. For everyone who asks receives. The one who seeks finds. And the one who knocks, the door will be opened. And once you've done these things, pick up the dirty trash because it's the right thing to do. I've learned to ask the same question multiple times. You may not get the response you were looking for the first time. You may not even get it the second time, and maybe not even on the third time. But eventually, in a different time, a different space, a different platform, or a different audience, you will be heard. Don't give up. Come out of the shadows. You might just be saving a child's life. Let me even take this further. You might be saving generations from child abuse. And if something doesn't look right, if something doesn't sound right, do something. Now, I'm speaking to the people who know. To the mother who has a boyfriend who always wants to be with your child. To the sister who has a brother that always wants to sit your child on his lap. To the friend's house who has a man or woman living there and they said and done things. To the deacon who wants to sleep over and have the boys come over, but you've questioned his behaviors. To the youth leader who's calling your teenage daughter at midnight. The little kids who are fast and saying and doing sexual things well beyond their years. That babysitter grooming your son. And to those who don't know or unsure, I've done some research, and according to the Australian government's National Office for Child Safety, these are some of the physical signs that indicates a child may have experienced child sexual abuse. Headaches, stomach aches, bedwetting, change in appetite, weight loss, nightmares and sleep disturbances, bruises on soft parts of the body like buttocks or thighs, changes in the genital area such as redness, swelling, or discharge, sexually transmitted infections, pain or burning when going to the toilet, including frequent urinary tract infections. Now, these are some of the behavioral signs: depression, anxiety, and mood changes, including social withdrawal and disassociation, sudden disinterest in previously enjoyed activities, self-harm or suicidal ideation, poor self-care or personal hygiene, harmful and volatile substance use, overcompliance and eagerness to please, aggressiveness and anger, running away, sexual knowledge or activity that is inappropriate for their age, overly sexualized behaviors, including towards other children or adults, dressing in highly sexualized ways or mimicking sexual activity during games or drawings, or descriptions that are sexually explicit and not age appropriate, early or excessive use of pornography, displaying intense fear or discomfort if topics related to sex, including child sexual abuse, are raised. Desexualization, for example, wearing baggy clothes to hide their gender. Anxiety-related illnesses, such as anorexia, bulimia. Unusual or new fears, such as avoidance of certain people and places, being alone or being close to others, asking questions or making references to secrets, and unusual games. Sound like someone you know? In an interview years ago, an interviewer asked me, do you inspect to expect or do you expect to inspect? Sure enough, I said the wrong thing, not knowing what she was talking about at the time. I know now. We must inspect everything, test, look, research, verify before expecting anything. Watch your kids. Wake up and pray. The enemy is busy. 1 Peter 5:8 says, be alert and of sober mind. Your enemy, the devil, prowls around like a roaring lion, looking for someone to devour. John 10. 10. The thief comes only to steal and kill and destroy. I have come that they may have life and have it to the fullest, to the full. So according to MayoClinic.org, and again, I'll put these links, make them available to you. Under child abuse, it says if you're concerned that your child or another child has been abused, seek help immediately. Depending on the situation, contact the child's healthcare provider, a local child welfare agency, the police department, or a 24-hour hotline for advice. In the United States, you can get information and assistance by calling or texting the Child Help National Child Abuse Hotline. Here's the number: 1-800-422-4453. Again, that's 1-800-422-4453. If the child needs immediate medical attention, call 911 or call your local emergency number. In the United States, keep in mind that healthcare professionals and many other people, such as teachers and social workers, are legally required to report all suspected cases of child abuse to the appropriate local authorities, child welfare agency. Now for the abused. The mask is off. And I choose complete healing. Not this, I'm doing fine stuff. Once upon a time in my life, a psychiatrist told me to write a letter. Write a letter to his wife, she said. He has kids, she said. She needs to know. And I couldn't do it. I just couldn't. So I know how hard this might be for you, but it's not me anymore. So Terry and Dwight, I'm not protecting you any longer. I am a watchman now. Do you feel that? Yeah, it's called freedom. There is a generation that needs us, and I can't do this all on my own. If all of us picked up the trash in front of us, imagine how clean this world would be. Protect the generation. Not all masks look like the devil. Some have pretty smiles. Danger can also be very familiar. And now you know, I've given you the tools to do something with. Watchman on the wall, wake up and pray. I pray this episode has touched you in ways you never felt possible or thought possible. Before we close, please allow me to leave a piece of me with you. Much love to you, and I'll see you next time. Hi. Hello. Hi. A baby girl awaits. The next man, the next woman, the next boy, the next girl, or the occasional dog. Hi. Hello. Hi. Jump and play, run, ha, tag, you're it. A fatherless daughter and a young mom working to provide for her baby girl. Yes, tag, you are it. Here comes my betrayer. Tiptoe, tiptoe, tiptoe behind the wall. Tiptoe, tiptoe, tiptoe in the corner. Tiptoe, tiptoe, tiptoe on the porch. Tiptoe, tiptoe, tiptoe. Wake up, wake up. It hurts. Indeed, It hurts. Body rejecting everything that's not meant to be, like vomit. Each one teach one. Running away to the secret place, deep, deep, deep into the belly of the closet, a perfect size for the littlest person. Hi, hello, hello, hi. Do you see me? Do you hear me? Why are you sleeping? I was only away for an hour. Wake up and pray. My betrayer's coming. Prevention only to come too late. Brave enough to speak, but brave enough to be silent. Wake up and pray. Sound the alarms. Blow the trumpet. My betrayer is coming. Wake up. Wake up. Wake up. Open your eyes. My betrayer is coming. Open your ears. My betrayer is coming. Watchmen on the wall.